How you been?
You know, same. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I'm finishing up the edits. I had a play reading on Friday. Went real well we won't besmirch what came before us. Because I cut out 19 pages of script.
Right.
And then I worried that I cut too much because I got a little cut happy. But it worked out. It's more well-rounded. It's balanced. It's a little bit more, not cohesive, but the things that are said in the beginning are now remembered at the end because I kind of looped them through
Nice.
a
Yeah.
couple of like buzzwords throughout, just keep slipping that in. So now I just have to finish editing that.
Mm.
And then I have to submit it to a New York summer festival in the next 6 days, including personal essays, explanations, a small treatment.
I hate all of that, Gubbins. I really do not like when they're like, "Oh, can you give us essays? Can you write this? Can you give us all of this?" It's like, no, I can't.
You're like, either you like the work or you don't. You don't.
If you like what you see, I'll give you more. But if you don't, let's not waste each other's time.
Yeah. Like, you don't care where I went to school or, that I have had 14 guinea pigs in my life. You don't care about that.
Oh,
I care about that. Not altogether. I mean, throughout my entire life.
Oh, well, that's less impressive.
I know. The most I've had is 2 at once of guinea pigs.
Sure. I'll just cut that. I'll make it however I want it to sound. It was my birthday last weekend, as you know, because it was the anniversary of us meeting.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know if you wanted me to say anything because you didn't want to tell me until like the next day.
Because it would have been weird. I stand by it. It would have been weird if we had met, had a lovely evening of just joking and like having a nice time. And then I went, oh, by the way, it's my birthday today and I don't know anyone. It'd be weird. So yeah, no.
Do that I'm just going to stand around in public and be like, it's my birthday and I don't know anyone.
Can I have some cake? Come
cake,
on.
Please.
Cake, please.
Cake on.
So on the Saturday, like Kirsty was like, what do you want to do? And I was like,
sleep.
I want to go in. It was like, I want to go into town, buy some films, get some chocolate, come home, get on the couch under a blanket and just watch Parks and Rec all day. And that was all we did. That's all we did Sunday as well. Nice. I really committed to it.
Because Chris works midnight. So if he were home when it hit midnight and I was already partaking in like a 10-hour marathon of Growing Pains season 7, he would have sat with me. I mean, and by sat, I mean slept through it or played video games on his phone, but he would have been there.
Yes. He would have been there. It's just second bodying. That's all I need.
Yeah. And honestly, I was like, I cannot remember the rest of my birthday. Not because I was drunk or like, because I don't drink or like, it's just like, because we're usually kind of snowed in or like I'm scared of drunk drivers because it's New Year's Eve. And so I just like, I'm sure we stayed in. I remember my best friend, Sasha, coming over with her kids for about 5 minutes. That's all I remember. That's all I remember.
I also think that like, because I'm marathoning Parks and Rec, 1 episode to 6 episodes is a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
So when everyone's like, what were you up to? It's like, I was watching Parks and Rec. And it's like, all night? Sure, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
Why would I stop?
I put it on at 1 and I probably went to bed at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, now what?
Yeah, and then you wake up and you still have 5 seasons left. It's amazing. Honestly,
we're about halfway through the 6th series, so we're almost done.
Do you have the pandemic episode?
Yes.
Nice.
So that'll be the end. That's how I will.
Because it is the end, yes. That is the final episode.
I mean, it is the end.
This is the end.
Am I right?
I can probably act out a good 75% of the scenes of Parks and Rec.
Nice.
From memory, all characters.
Wonderful. There's the annoying thing of not liking Chris Pratt now, but seeing myself in the Andy Dwyer character a lot.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, that's so like me. Fucking Chris Pratt.
I know. Yeah. No, I mean, the first time you watch it and the second time you watch it, you're like, oh man, this is great. Remember when he was in Everwood and he was an asshole who liked playing basketball, but he was a dick? And I'm like, I do. I think I'm one of 6 people who watched Everwood.
Yeah.
Shout out Gregory Smith, because I thought that guy was great. But then that was it. And then he came back and I was like, oh, he was on Everwood. And people were like, what was that? And I was like, never mind. I'm not going to embarrass myself by talking about shows that came on after Seventh Heaven. But then like the more I watched it, the more I'm like, if we could just like take Andy out, because I don't, and this is a thing of mine, I don't like when shows, like when a character's funny because they're kind of inept at things, and then like Eric Matthews and stuff, and then they just like get dumber and dumber, and like just not even like dumber, like they're heartfelt, but they're so oblivious that you wonder how they would even function being able to cross the street. And I hate that.
It's Joey, like in
he
Friends,
gets dumber and dumber as it goes, and I'm just like, I get it. Yeah, he gets more heart the dumber he gets, you know, because in the later seasons he's a little bit less sexist and women are just playthings and female friends don't exist.
Yeah,
but it's still like, don't be dumber. Don't make people dumber for the sake of laughs. Like that's right. To me, that's always been like a little bit lazy, because like if you're making him dumber to get the laughs, then those are cheap. That's low hanging fruit.
Yep.
And I felt the same
about you know that if the character wasn't perceived as dumb, their revelation that is the comedy of the situation would be like, does he not understand? Why does he not think that already?
Yeah.
So then you can't make that joke almost, because it's like, well, no, that doesn't work. I will say, watching it back this time round, Leslie is fucking insufferable. Like the amount of times where I'm like, she is not a good person. Like she steamrolls and is not good, and she's horrible to her friends, like in that sort of love bombing way. And you'd look at that character now and be like, ooh, like she could be the villain in some alternate fucking reading of this show.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't fully agree with it, because it's
towards the end. There's series 2, 3, and 4. Like, and probably 5, I think there's like a slight hint of the steamrollering and they pick it up on it. But
yeah,
in 6, when she loses like the councilwoman job and like has to go back to being Parks and Rec, in that period, she is like, ooh, you should take a break.
Yeah.
You should stop.
Yeah. I mean, she's always been a steamroller, but I think I think she even says something about that. And she's just like, it's just,
yeah,
I learned it from my mom. My mom's steamroller. I think there's a difference between meaning well steamroller or then being like my cousin who's a steamroller, where like you can't even finish a sentence. Like one time I said that Chris and I wanted to maybe go to San Francisco on vacation, and she tried to talk us into going to Austin, Texas, because her sister lives there. And she thinks that we would enjoy spending quality time with her sister. Mind you, her sister, nice lady. She is my cousin of sorts. It's like my second cousin.
Sure.
She's minimally, I think she's like 13 years older. And
okay.
In my adult life, I think we've spoken a total of possibly 20 minutes all together. So I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. It's like,
yeah.
Like for Leslie to be a steamroller, it's because she sees the positivity in things and wants to like push people for the best. And you can see that and you know that about her. Whereas like my cousin, it's like, why are you trying to derail my vacation? It's so weird.
And also, as we both know, Austin is a perfectly fine place to go if you're a drinker.
Yeah.
And if you love boozing. If you don't drink, like neither of us,
yeah,
it's quite a boring town.
It's
like...
Yeah, like what am I going to do? Go over to the Kill Tony showcase and listen to some racist and homophobic and ableist jokes about handicapped people? Awesome. That's a great waste of $60.
I tell you what we would do. We'd go back to that Museum of Curiosities again, because that was rad. I had a great time there.
Yep.
Welcome to Your Life in Film. I'm your host, Ted Bennett. Joining me today is Katie Casebolt. Katie is a writer and director based in Detroit. Her work currently focuses on feminist takes, female empowerment, and correcting injustices in modern America. Katie recently had a play on in Manhattan, which I helped promote on the internet. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for the shout out on promoting me on the internet.
You are welcome. It's the least I could do, literally. It went well. There was 2 performances, was there?
One. Well, I had a play reading that I was telling you a little bit about on Zoom that went moderately well. It was supposed to be about 2 hours. It wound up being 3.5 because you can tell when people don't read the script ahead of time because they'll laugh at the jokes that are not necessarily funny when you read it as a second or third pass. Like,
yes.
It's different to read it versus hear it or see it performed. And so I could tell that there were people who did not read the script. There were people who just did not show up. There were people who lied to me and said, hey, this is lasting a little bit longer than I anticipated. Yet on Instagram, they were posting pictures of the completed thing 40 minutes before they emailed me saying they were going to be late. So I'm like, I see you, Kevin. Literally, because you posted about it, forgetting we're friends. So that was that. That was for the play that I'm working on now to submit back to the summer festival that I cut 19 pages out of based on, because I was like, good Lord, like, I'm sorry, but it's my own work. So I'm like, I know that it holds up. I know that it's moderately okay. But like my friends who were also in the reading were all like secretly texting each other being like, I was like, Kat, I want to die. This is my own play. And I'm like, I fucking want to light myself on fire just so I can end this call. I hate this so much. So it didn't go well.
I enjoyed the sort of play-by-play I was getting from you, I think, while it was on. I was enjoying that. Because obviously it was Manhattan at night, so it was like 5 hours behind. So it was just like while I was going to bed, I was just getting these messages. And I was like, oh, this sounds like it is blowing up. I don't know if she's exaggerating or whether it's good. And Kirsty was just like, I'm sure it's fine. I was like, I'm going to have to take a minute. I'm going to have to message her back.
Yeah, that was a different day.
Yeah. Jesus.
So then I had my play in Manhattan in the Emerging Artist Festival. I love that group. It's a safe space. They're very kind. They're generous with their time. If you have questions, they've got you. It's a great festival, the Spark Festival. It's a wonderful festival to be in. Yeah, so we're doing the show live. And the group before me, this great show called As Sylvia, fantastic show. I can't wait to see it when it's completed. It's about Stonewall and drag queens, and so it's
lovely.
It's going to be a great show. But all of her friends that came because she went on first got up and left during. So it's like striking her show, putting mine out in that. I kid you not, 2 minutes. Between striking hers and setting mine up and my actors coming out, half the room got up and left. Which
I think is such poor, that's poor show on the friends, but also on, I'll say it so you don't have to, on the organizers. I think there should be very much like, you're here for the show.
They were.
For the whole thing, not just your friends. You're not just there. You're here for the whole fucking thing.
They did.
So, your friends, they did? Oh, perfect then.
Yeah. No, but still, what you're saying, because it's like, it's easy to blame other people. It's like, no, when you buy your tickets, it's in bold saying that this is the show you're buying is one of a group and that all of the groups are going boom, boom, boom. Like it's this time block is the show. Yeah. And then when we got there, she said, there's no intermission. There's going to be a talk back with each of the writers and one dancer. There's going to be a talk back after to discuss each show, and here we go. It's like, this is the block. This is what it is. It's an hour and 15 minutes because my show was 16 minutes and the dance was 7. So it's really like, you're really going to just dip out early and miss everything. Right. But the problem wasn't that they got up and left, because if they got up and left and like went outside, cool, great. That sucks for us. For me, it's the way it goes, this gorgeous dance that was going on. But the problem is that they went out into the lobby and started talking and congratulating each other on their friend's successful show so loudly that my show could not be heard. And then when they realized there's no intermission, they started coming back in because the organizers were like, you either need to get back inside and shut the fuck up, or you need to get the fuck outstairs, which is what I'm picturing them doing. So half the group went downstairs and left, and half came back in. But the problem is that they came back in talking. They came back in shuffling their shoes, scooching chairs, slamming doors, to the point where my actors had to stop. And it's a 16-minute show. Like, they shouldn't have to stop.
Yeah.
And when you have to stop that often, you've broken your rhythm. So then paragraphs were dropped, lines were dropped, motions were dropped. My 16-minute show probably had, what did I tell you, like 7 minutes of either unheard or not present dialogue that dropped some major key points in the writing because of the disturbances and stuff. So,
because I read the script before you put it on. The beauty of it is the back and forth conversation between the partner and the slow realizations of what's actually being said and what's actually going on. And I'm sure at the end, like, you'd have got that, but that slow build of the realization and the back and forth and what people are actually saying, it's so you get that dread in you, like, oh fuck, I know where this is going. I've been in this. And that's the joy of it. The joy of it is obviously the entire piece, not just the last 30 seconds. So for them to have like fucked up a 16-minute play by ruining half of it, the rest of the audience doesn't get to enjoy that journey. They don't get to enjoy that story and the realization. And I felt really fucking shit for you when you were messaging.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I mean, like, people are like, oh, I'm sure it wasn't that bad, and then I tell them, they're like, it's a feral disaster. That is quite literally like. Outside of a Birdman situation, which also would happen, where the light falls and like murders that guy, that would not happen. Going to the bar in your costumes, that would not fucking happen. This is not professional theater. Birdman has it wrong. Don't. That fucking movie is terrible. Anyway, aside from like nobody dying, this is quite literally the worst thing that could happen for theater.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty shit. And I mean, hopefully you'll be able to put it on. I know you've said sort of in the past that Detroit isn't the best for this kind of theater.
Right.
So it's annoying that you can't put it on locally and try and do it a bit sort of, build it up, build a fan base through there. But I completely get it. It's a similar thing I have with Shrewsbury, where there's probably a handful of people that would be way into it. And if they were into it, they would be fucking into it. But once those 10, 20 people have seen it, they're not coming again.
Yeah.
They're not coming back. They'll tell their friends, but their friends don't want to see it. And then you're kind of stuck like, it's great that there is a smaller community that would be interested, but the price to put the show on, I need a lot more than 20 people. Yeah. I need a lot more sort of engagement. I need reoccurring engagement. I need 100 people a night minimum. It's that kind of, for me to put on this show in the amount it needs, it just, it's annoying.
Yeah.
So
it's, and that's how a lot of the theater here is in Detroit and the filmmaking circles. It's like, if you're not willing to do it for free, they take that as you're not willing to do it.
Oh God, I hate
like
that whole
exposure bucks can only get you so far. Like, what am I going to do with an IMDb credit when nobody looks at IMDb?
Right.
Like
IMDb, I can't pay for my groceries with IMDb.
Yeah, like I can't restock my makeup kit if you want me to spend $500 worth of kit to do a horror movie. Like, horror and special effects is expensive.
I will also say this to the audience. Katie does horror special effects makeup as well. Yes. I didn't mention that in the intro, and I thought I don't want everyone to think like, oh, makeup's not an essential. You don't need to buy that. It's for work when she says makeup.
Yeah. It's all... Cause I'm like, I mean, makeup as like a person from a beauty standpoint is just, I don't care. I've got a nice lipstick and a nice liner and I'm done. I spend
but horror makeup,
all my makeup budget for the year is predominantly like Graf Dobian, Ben Nye, like Krylon, like all the theater and film brands and stuff, and like teaching myself how to do these looks, and so it's like that stuff's not free. And just because you're giving me credit in a movie, that doesn't make it okay to try to. It's I don't know. It's like theft almost.
It is 100% theft, and it's piss-taking behavior when people sort of be like, oh no, like we're all doing it for free and we're all helping each other out. It's like, I don't want to be a piece of shit when I say this. It's like, unless you're directing something every fucking month, this is a one and done between me and you.
Yeah.
You might want to reuse my free skill next month or in a year's time when you do your next project. But like, I can't count on you as filmmakers to bring me back every time. And now I know I'm a director producer, so in my head, if you can't afford to pay someone, you can't afford
you can't do it.
So like I very rarely, the only time I would ever say like no one's getting paid, it's literally like me and 4 friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, let's go film something, just something silly between the 4 of us. That's the only time I'll ever consider no one getting paid. And if it's not that, if I don't know you, then I would never consider, like, even my friends when I worked on my film, they were like, I'll help. And I was like, yeah, and I'll pay you. And they were like, you don't have to do that. And I was like, I'll pay for your train up to Shrewsbury. I'll pay for your hotel. And I will give you a day rate. I'm not taking the piss, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is... And I don't know, it's just... When people try and do the whole, oh, well, you know, it's exposure. It's like, I don't want to be
cared. I thought you cared about the craft.
And it's like, well, this isn't a fucking Martin Scorsese joint. Like, this isn't a fucking zombie film that's going to get Netflix distribution and everyone's going to see my work and go, oh, fuck, give me some of that. Because I've not been paid to do the budget to make it look that way. I can do what I can do with the equipment I have. But if there's no money, then I can't do a scale of that. I can only do what is applicable to like the free bracket. And that's not to discredit the work. It's more just like, well, if I have this amount of like product, I can do that amount of makeup.
Yeah. Like,
and if there's no money, I can't do anything extra.
Exactly. Like, I'm going to do a good job because I'm a professional. Yeah. However, I'm not going to use my best stuff because it costs money.
Far too much money to get away with using that. And again, if you were talking to someone and, you know, they had a script, the script was outrageously good. They already had fucking distribution deals, yet for some reason there was no money for it. Like it's the same thing about, finances don't want to get involved until there's an actor on board, and actors don't want to get on board until there's money in the play.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, how the fuck am I meant to get one without the other, you pricks? It's that same deal. It's like, I can't do freebie work because then how can I afford to make sure I've got the free time to do the work? But I need to work, otherwise no one's going to see my work.
Right.
It's the worst. I hate it.
It's so weird, like, and I'm sure you get it in Shrewsbury too. It's like in our area, I have people, like, I have a film degree. I have film people that were in my life. Like, I did work in short films. We formerly have an industry here. Like, I graduated with my film degree 5 months before the industry left for Atlanta. But it's like, I'm surrounded by people who used to do films. It's just that it got to the point of exposure where people, like, I was starting to make a name for myself. Because even in my theater degree from Wayne State, before I got my film degree, even my theater degree, I was the only makeup artist to come out of the program. And it's because I, the consummate punk, I guess, like the rebel here, I made my degree work for what I needed. I gave myself that title. I made my capstone all about how makeup integrates into the story and into the character, and how actors don't feel like they're the character until they're done, like makeup wise, costume, hair, until they can look at themselves and see who they're meant to be and not like the actor that they are. That was my 100%. Thing. And that went so well for me that in the capstone ceremony, when my documentary was shown, just like a 5-minute thing that I did with some friends, college on, like we did modeling and it was on film. So we made a documentary of like a 3-month photo shoot project, and people were screaming in the audience, just looking at pictures that were on screen or watching the video of it. It went so well that the film teacher who was teaching us how to do it, Kim, she actually stole my documentary and used it as a teaching tool without permission, which I would have been fine with if she'd asked, and I would have given her. She stole the not completed edit. Like, it wasn't the final. It was like the second to last final. And was like, I'm going to send this out. And I was like, but it's mine. I made it. John and I made it. Like, the models have to give permission. Like, they gave it to me, but they don't know you. It got stolen and used so that other people started calling me to do makeup for things. Like, that's how I met Tom Sullivan, who worked on Evil Dead. He created the book and he did makeup for that. I did his makeup. So that was really fun. And so stuff came from it. But then more and more people saw it. And then more and more people were like, well, can you do this for free? And I was like, no. Like, somebody wanted me to drive up to Flint for 2 solid weeks from Detroit, which is about an hour and a half. No gas reimbursement. No vegetarian options for food. I would have been on my own. So I would have been using my own makeup for free, my own gas for free, buying my own food every day for 16 hours a day on set, and then drive home. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And then I started to slow down. When people only start calling me because they have work and they are not present when I have work, or they're too busy, or they don't care. Like, if it's not reciprocated, I'm not doing. There's like 3 people I'll do stuff for free for.
No, I know what you mean. It really does annoy me because I have a similar-ish problem at the moment where it's like I've had to drop some people from my creative group because they would always be like, let me know when you got something going on. And it's like, totally will, man. And then I hear about all these things that are going on for them. And I'm like, no, it's not going to give me the heads up.
Yeah, like there could have been, like, are we not friends here? Because that's what I was like.
Yeah.
I had a small, we'll say, contingent of film friends who did like the 48-hour festivals and short films and created, things in the area that are catching some steam. So it's like, it's great for them. But then you start to realize, oh, they only call me when they have a need that either somebody backed out or that it's my thing. These aren't actually friends. I think everyone is a friend, and until proven otherwise. And then I'm hurt by it. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. Like, if we work together on a film, then I'm of course gonna, if I enjoyed my time with you, if it was a good, clean, safe environment where nobody was being taken advantage of or treated poorly, I'm gonna want to hold on to that and recreate some of that group mentality for a project I might have.
100%.
And then most people aren't really like that.
No, and it's really horrible that I made that realization in the same way, that it was just like, oh, this isn't a group of like-minded individuals making and creating together.
Yeah.
This is a very selfish person that happens to, I'm not going to say lie their way in, but a very selfish person that's sort of like, oh, it's not through deceit, but it's not through truth. And there's something not quite right.
Yeah. It's very like I came in thinking film because we read about it all the time. We hear it all the time. Everybody at Austin last year was like, if they weren't saying just keep writing, they'll find you.
Shut up with that.
It was put yourself in a community where everyone can come together and be, it's all for one and one for all. And the problem is that the community here is just all for one.
Yeah.
They forgot the all part.
I will say, I don't think it's not necessarily their fault that they're all for one, because, funding and grant money and just general charities and sources of finance, essentially anything that is the money, pits you against one another. Mm-hmm. They don't want to encourage, we've got, and I'm going to use an extraordinary amount of money here, but I'm going to be like, we've got 50 million, let's give 100 people $500,000 to go make a film and see what comes back. They go, no. Let's see if we can put 50 million into an already well-made, received community and see if we can at least take a percentage of their money back. Mm-hmm. They're not interested in bringing up. They're only interested in sort of latching on. Yeah. And I think that is only coming from, there's no other money lower down. So if everyone's taking a risk, they don't want to be the ones that are taking the biggest risk. And I just think I can see where you're coming from. I'm the kind of person that would take the biggest risk. I'm the kind of person that if I had a budget of if someone said, here's a couple of $100,000, go find it to invest in film, I'd be like, all right, sick. I'm going to go to the universities. I'm going to find who did the best short films, in my opinion, not grade wise. Well, I look at that and I go, there's something there. Find out who made it and go right, here's 10 grand. What could you make with 10 grand? Yeah. Just see what you can make. Yeah. And I'm not interested. You'll put it through our banner just to say that we did this help, just to help promote our program. But then that'd be it. I'd be like, right. And if this is good, you fuck off and you go make something great with it. If it's something you're interested in doing, take it. If it's no good, you learned something, didn't you? Mm-hmm. You got to have learned something. And that's just the shame of it. Not everything is your best work. Some of it's just mediocre work, and that's fine. But I would just consider that I'm not a financially driven person. That's the problem. I think money is to be spent, not to be hoarded like a fucking dragon.
No, in my delusions where, maybe I am working with Marty or Quentin and I'm getting these paychecks and stuff. It's like, that's something I would think about is like, okay, I'm going to make sure my nieces and nephews are cool. Like maybe they want to go to college or like a house or like buy eggs one day. So I'm going to set money aside from them.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, okay, but then what if there's like some sort of, I don't want to do like a full scholarship fund where people have to compete to try to win some money and stuff. But it's just like, there's, like people like us who, I mean, at least for me, like we didn't have money. Like there were projects in school I couldn't complete because I didn't have money to buy supplies at the school. And also I was too embarrassed to ask for money or special allegiances. So I just failed those projects because I was embarrassed. But it was like, I don't have money for things. Everything I did is guerrilla style, which is also why it's like my favorite thing. It's like, I'd rather run with a camera and add that to the magistrate of whatever I'm making, if that's the way it has to be, than like beg for money, unless it's for Chris.
100%. Yeah.
But that's why you get married.
Right?
But
that's why you find someone who is financially stable and has a solid career, and then you go, hey, by the way, I'm way into the arts. Psych, no job for me.
Like, here's the thing. I have 2 college degrees. They are in theater and film, so it's a wonder I work part-time at the Arena in the box office, which don't even, like, I do love that job. I'm surrounded by, like, 95% amazing people who understand references like you and I, where we can have witty banter. Sometimes just walk in a room going, banter, great, awesome days. But I saw somebody yesterday that I graduated high school with. Haven't seen him since. Like we weren't friends in high school, but we were both in orchestra. And like, he's always been a nice fella. But I saw him yesterday. He looks fantastic. He got married to somebody else we went to school with. She's as stunning as she's ever been. And they're paying, $150 to come see this concert. And then they run into me in the box office. I did just get a raise. So that helps with the feelings. But like, I'm like, I want to be like, no, I do much cooler things. This is just a way to help pay for the cool things. This isn't my real life. Don't look at me.
The amount of time.
I want to be like, ask Jenna. Jenna is incredible, and she knows what I'm secretly up to that isn't working at this box office part-time for an hourly rate just to...
The amount of times I've like bumped into people and they're like, what are you up to? I'm like, filmmaker. And I also, I run a film thing and I do a film podcast and I make films and I've just been to the States for like a month last year. Like it's been to the States for a month, doing all this kind of shit. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'll just sort of be like, oh, yeah, when I was at work the other day, they're like, on a film set. And I was like, no, a building site. And they're like, what? And I was like, oh, yeah, I work as a builder 2 or 3 days a week because otherwise I got no money. And they were like, oh, I thought you were doing really well with that. And I was like, oh, I'm doing really well in regards to creative outlets. If you're judging it by creative outlets, I'm doing very
define well.
If you're judging it by money, if you're judging it by money in the bank, I'm fucked. I don't own money.
That's not you can own money.
Yeah, it's like I thought that was something that you just borrowed from the bank and then gave it back.
Just look at all the money. Here you go. Thank you so much. Like petting somebody else's dog.
Yeah, that's exactly what like money is. Oh, this is lovely. This is really nice.
What I wanted.
This is perfect. All right, we should get into these questions.
The questions?
I know we've been on this for
I knew we would. Nobody's going to enjoy this except us and Bumble.
Exactly. He literally just left. When I said questions, he was like, questions.
And I've heard enough of these questions.
We're good. So, what was the first film you saw at
Batman.
The 89
I
Batman?
saw that. That's the first. Well,
an R-rated film was the first film you saw.
Yeah. Okay. So, The Land Before Time is probably the first cartoon film that I've seen, which is just a travesty. Don't take your kids to see that and have that be their first memory, where his parents die, and then like the Star Leaf and the.
I remember that being the saddest.
So sad, and I was like, oh God, Disney. take note. And then they did. But yeah, so The Land Before Time was the first cartoon I saw in the theater. And it was at the second run theater at the Shores Inn, which is haunted. And that was like our favorite place. That was like the hang. And it's very like 50s style. We all went to the Dollar Cinema. And then Batman is the first movie I saw with my whole family, with like my brothers and my parents. It was a family outing. I saw Batman, and they were like, "Well, don't be scared." And I was like, "Don't you be scared." I ain't scared of shit, and I wasn't.
I ain't gonna scared about this no Jack Nicholson boy. It
was all. I was just like, this is great. This is awesome.
I would say, like, I remember the first time I watched that film, like, the only bit that ever spooked me was the sort of like the armor from around the world sort of thing. And I think there's one which is like almost like a samurai, but it's got like the straw whiskers on the it's not an Oni mask anyway, like the sort of the half mask. And I remember seeing that and being a bit like, "Oh, what's that? What's going on there?" Because it's all dark and like in the shadows. And I was like, "What's going on?" But everything else, no, it wasn't scary.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think it was supposed to be scary, but it was like, I mean, it's an action adventure film, and it was filled with action adventure.
And it was Batman, and Batman's for kids. Comics are for kids.
Yeah, silly rabbit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Nice choice.
I mean, nice choice. Didn't really have a say.
No, there. I think that's the thing with all of these first ones, is that people are like, I've had to ask my mum, or like, I think I was taken to this. And it was like, oh yeah.
It's like I was taken to Batman. The first horror movie I remember seeing is Carrie, which really just explains a lot about me as both a Carrie, a mutant, and a Brian De Palma fan, and a horror fan, and a bully fan.
Perfect.
That my childhood started off with Carrie. But my neighbor, Stacy, was 5 years older and thought, I'm going to scare all the little kids. And the little kids were scared. Yeah. And then there was me going, what's next? And it was sleepaway camp. And I was like, I'm out.
Yeah. Get to the end of that and you're like, no, too much.
I'm like, not because of the horror, not because of the murders, not because of the gruesome, but because there's a porta potty scene. And I was like, can't do a porta potty. I'm out. Can't do it. It wasn't even like a full porta. It was like a camp potty, but it's like, nope, still piles of other people's crap. If it's not coming out of Triceratops, like in Jurassic Park, I am not having it.
I remember I was at a YMCA in Tanzania, and we were there for a few weeks, and obviously, and there was one of the toilets in the gents was just blocked, and it was just getting higher and higher with poop. And I just remember like saying to Joe, one of the other guys in our group, I was like, I don't know who keeps pooping on top of it. Like, it's clearly blocked. Who keeps going?
And more in, it'll shove it down.
Yeah, the weight will push it down. Anyway, I said that to him, and he kind of looked at me and gave me a little smile, and he was like, I do it. And I was like, well, why? Why are you doing that?
Time bomb. You don't know how long you have. Like, if you're going over here to like pinch a loaf over, and you don't know when the opposite of a dam is going to break. Like, you don't know when it's going to erupt. And now that's like your body.
But I just
like, we're just going to leave you here, Joe. We're just going to leave you here.
Honestly, I was just like,
might just leave you here anyway, because I've changed my opinions of you.
And I was like, the ladies is like one story up. Just go there. No one's in there. It's fine. But anyway.
Yeah. So that's fun.
So, what film did you watch over and over again?
I have an ADHD personality type that, I mean, as we all do, because it's just...
You don't say. I will say, conversations with us in Austin were wild. Two people with ADHD just sort of like popping off. And then all of a sudden just standing there in silence, like, what were we doing?
I mean, no wonder our marriage is working out so well.
Exactly.
But so I'm also learning as an adult that I had a lot of complex and like neglectful abuse. Not that my parents were abusive, but like neglectful, and like I was the youngest to fend for myself. You know, the independent one who was.
I know what you mean.
It was kind of hands off for me because I was by first grade sick of the bullshit. I was born this way, and so I watched a lot of movies repeatedly because I felt better knowing what the ending was going to be. So I watched a lot of Monster Squad, still do. had various encounters with Andre Gower, whom is an absolute delight, who starred in that and various other things. But I watched a lot of Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year was my jam at Blockbuster Friday nights. And The Witches with Angelica Houston. Did a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
My brothers hated it.
I'm surprised that did so well in the States because it's very British.
Yeah, it is. But Luke is American and May is American.
And it's Angelica Houston.
I don't know. It hit everything. I was a huge Witches fan. I still am. Not the Anne Hathaway one. They took out too much. I was obsessed with The Witches because of Erica in the beginning. Do you remember how she gets trapped in the painting?
Yes.
If it were just a movie on that, I would have been satisfied. I was so interested in that.
That was one of the films that I had, we had as a kid on VHS. And everyone was banging on about Hocus Pocus.
I love Hocus Pocus.
Witches was like the witch film I knew. So everyone would be going on about how good Hocus Pocus was. And I was like, yeah, maybe. I mean, it's no witches.
Yeah. No, even I said it because I was like, Hocus Pocus is great. It's great. I've got Bette Midler's I Put a Spell on You on my phone. I sing it all the time. It's on like all my mixes. If I could write a musical without being sued, it would be Hocus Pocus the musical, which I'm frankly surprised hasn't happened yet. Nobody steal that idea. I will cut you.
This counts as copyright, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If I say copyright, right, that means I've copywritten.
There we go.
You heard it here first. But yeah, The Witches was one of my favorites. And also there was a film with Mona from Katherine Hellman, Mona from Who's the Boss, called Lady in White, about a haunted house and how it was like just a lady in white. And she was like the ghost type, the cliche of lady in white ghost type. And I used to watch that. I would stop what I was doing to watch that as well. But also pretty much any Disney sports movie were all my go-tos. Really? Yeah. Cool Runnings. Fuck yeah. D2, The Mighty Ducks. Yeah. The third one, if I must. Yeah. I never must, though. The first one's all right. Rookie of the Year, Angels in the Outfield, which has a surprising array of A-list celebrities, if you look back on it. Also, Tony Danza. A lot of Tony Danza in my childhood. That is unsettling.
A lot of Tony Danza. I was thinking that.
A lot of Tony Danza. Two things. I feel like that's a lot. So those, I still rewatch everything. Like, Chris has seen every episode of Gilmore Girls. He's seen every episode of Criminal Minds repeatedly. True Blood. I'm rewatching Modern Family right now.
Ooh.
I just
because we're coming to the end of Parks and Rec. I need
I finished whenever I go to New York, or at least once a year when I go, I'll start 30 Rock. Get myself in the mood. Pretend I'm a little bit more functional in that industry than I am. I stick to my classics. I rewatch. Dude, you really do. I mean, I will drop everything to watch Catch Me If You Can. Doesn't matter. I'll call in sick if I must.
Catch Me If You Can is definitely one of my favorite videos. Like, it's such a good. I will say, One Battle After Another may be getting close to like top 5, top 3 Leos. But Catch Me If You Can is definitely one of my favorites.
That's probably still my favorite movie of all time. Like, it's not as like you want to go for the sexy ones. You want to go for the Tarantino. You want to go for, like even One Battle After Another. You want to go for those because they're sexier. They give you more things to talk about. But I'm like, nah, man, Catch Me If You Can. Like, and I didn't even discover it. It's not like an emotional thing. It's not like, oh, I saw this the day after such and such happened and it brought me out. It's like, no, I saw this with my friend at the theater and I thought it was just my favorite. It's so well done. And the book is so good.
My mum took me and my buddy Dom to go see it at the theater. It was so good. Like, me and my mum have gone to the cinema a load. Like, we're a big cinema family. Like, we would go together, but then me and Dad would go to the cinema, or me and my mum would go to the cinema. So, like, me and Mum saw Tron Legacy at the IMAX when that came out, like, 10 years ago. It was fucking rad. Anyway, so, like, my mum took us all to go see Catch Me If You Can. It's Spielberg. It's Tom Hanks. It's fucking Leo. It's Chris Walken. There's loads of people in it. It's all really good. I didn't unintentionally not name any female actors. I just...
It's fine. It's fine. You've got your Elizabeth Banks, your Amy Adams. It's like
bingo. You got them all, and it's so good.
There's only two. That whole movie consists of 2 women.
2 women, 2 white women. That's all that's needed in cinema, and it it is such an enjoyable film, and yeah, it doesn't have, like you're saying, for me, it doesn't have that emotional weight for any reason other than it was a 2-hour film that told a fucking story that that took its world seriously, and you're just like, yeah, thank you. You can have humor, you can have drama, you can have like the sad relationship between the dad and Leo, and like, it's so good. Like, it doesn't miss a beat, that film, and I agree. Like, when it comes on, if I see it, like I think I've got it on DVD behind me. If I'm in the mood, it's going on.
Yeah, I mean, like E.T. is great and all, but to me, this is Spielberg's number one, because I'm like, E.T. is great. We all grew up with E.T. Chris was terrified of it. I still giggle. Does not love it. Yeah. The hospital thing when he's and like, I get it when he's hooked up to like
when he's white like a fucking old dog poo just sitting in the forest. Elliot. Scared the shit out of me as a kid.
That's so I still giggle because it never really scared. I was just like, like by then I'd already had a significant death in the family. So I was like, oh, this is just the way of life. It didn't scare me. It wasn't anything. It was just like, oh, this is just what happens. Maybe it's more morbid than I thought.
The films you've selected have all been, there's been a slightly morbid tone to them.
America.
What can I say? Well, that leads us on nicely. What was the first R-rated film you saw, and how old were you?
Besides Batman and Carrie?
Let's say besides Batman and Carrie.
I even knew that question was coming and then spoiled it. I ruined the good surprise. I blew my own surprise. I blew myself.
She blew herself, everyone.
I was probably 4 when Batman came out, not depending on the month, because I'm born on the last fucking day of the year. But
yeah.
Was it 88 or 89?
89.
Because Littlefoot was 88. So yeah, it was 5 when I watched.
So what year were you born?
83.
Okay. My brain couldn't figure that out. I was like, well, it's the last day.
Yeah.
And you were 4 or 5, other than Carrie and Batman.
The next thing I remember seeing, because Carrie I was probably about 6. The next thing that had a significant impact, at least, which I can assume was rated R, but I'm not sure because it was made for a TV miniseries, was It.
Oh, that would have been an R.
Because it was, I'm pretty sure it was like an HBO miniseries. Tim Curry, Jonathan Brandis, may he rest. That came out in 1990. And I remember watching that with Stacy while everybody else was scared. And I was like, you fucking babies. It's just a fucking clown.
So a buddy of mine, he's a tattoo artist. He's done all of my tattoos, which is, you know what? I hate saying that because he's an extremely skilled portrait tattoo artist. And my stuff is fucking sticker book bullshit. Like, he was far too qualified to do the tattoos that I've requested from him. Anyway, he is on a documentary about the original like Pennywise and that Stephen King It, because he was at a tattoo convention and he's tattooed little red balloons on like a number of the original actors.
Nice.
And they've all gotten to do the same little red balloon on a string. So I'm pleased that other people have got very basic work from a very skilled artist.
Yeah.
I'll give him a shout out. It's Joe Worrell, everyone, at Heart and Arrow Tattoo. Giving a shout out there for free. No sponsor.
Yeah. What up, Joe? I'm sure I'll be seeing you.
Right? Better be getting some damn tats for this fucking shit.
Ted's going to be making some money from these, make-believe situations. And I don't need a daily rate. Just pay for me to come over and I'll just like stay in Bumble's room and then we'll get tattoos.
Sick. I actually realized I have to get, I have a tattoo that I have, which is the Kira pill.
Yeah.
And my cousin saw it the other day and was like, why do you have that Andrew Tate red pill, blue pill shit on your leg? And I was like,
delete.
No, it's an anime. I'm a weeb. I'm not a incel, I'm a weeb. And then, so I might have to get, like, the remainder of the tattoo. There's, like, in the original thing, it's, like, good for health, bad for education, whatever. I thought I could either get that tattooed around it, or I get all of the other stickers that he's got on his bike all around it. Yeah. So it's clearly an Akira leg.
You've got to go big.
Now I've said it out loud, I actually like the idea of saying, I'm a weeb, not an incel.
Yeah, weeaboo. Yeah, no, you have to go big with that, because I don't know Akira. You know who does? Leonardo DiCaprio financing that movie. But like the same thing with My Sailor Jupiter. It's like, no, this is what I like. This isn't just like a naked girl. It's just unfinished. Like, how dare you lump my friend in with Andrew Tate, you bitch?
Also, like, because I got, is it on this leg? Yeah, it's on this leg. I can't show you.
What is happening? I can't read.
I have, no, that's upside down. So I have on the back of my calf the same tattoo that Bill Murray has from Life Aquatic, which is Angelica Houston's character, Jacqueline, crossed out, and then the name of his submarine deep search. So if it looks like I've got a woman's name crossed out on the back of my leg, and then I've got the red pill, blue pill shit on the other side, I'm like, oh, this really looks like I hate women. And it's like, I really don't, everyone.
No,
I'm pro women. I'm going to go out there and say it on the internet. I'm pro.
Yeah,
women.
like you're dating a woman. You live in sin with a woman by choice.
By choice. I do only have boy cats and dogs though.
Yeah, but one of those wasn't by choice. He came with the house.
That's
so. You can't really help. You can't really help that. That the cat God giveth.
I wouldn't look a gift cat in the mouth.
Nah, I mean, so pointy.
So wait, did you answer?
I have no idea. Yeah, it.
It.
And then shortly followed by The Shining, because I got real big into Stephen King books made into film adaptations, but not the books themselves, because I'll say it, controversial, terrible fucking writer. So goddamn boring. Those books are so boring. His best books that I've read have been Shawshank and Carrie, and those happen to be the shortest selections.
I like Misery as a book, and I do like The Shining as a book.
I thought I wanted to like Shining. I like it as a book, but not as a scary book. When everyone, like our friends, when they had to put it in the freezer because it was too scary, it's like the scariest part is when the wasp nest comes back to life. And that's just because I don't like bugs. Like that's not, it's not scary because the house brought the dead nest back to life, or the house, the hotel. Yeah. It's because I don't want to wake up with a bug on me.
Yeah, 100%.
Any bug.
100%. No bugs. I picked up a t-shirt. I picked a t-shirt off the floor the other day and shook it out, and a spider fell out and just ran across the bed. And I was like, I'm still going to put this t-shirt on.
You're like, now I got to burn the t-shirt. Because I'm like, bugs are outside. That's outside. Like I built this house in like the world of your people, bugs. But if there's
we got a mutual respect. I don't go out there. They don't come in here.
Yeah, like there are rules in place. Like a centipede crawling up my bathtub drain when I'm about to turn on the water. I do apologize as I kill it.
See, I won't kill it. I will. I think I'll do worse than kill it. I will scoop it up and put it outside where it's not got any support system or network and doesn't know where it is, and then another bug will probably kill it.
I do that like in the bathtub. I'm like, no. If it's like around the house, because we live by off Lake St. Clair. If it's like by the front door, then yeah, I'll put it outside. I'll scoop that bitch up and like throw it on. I'll like launch.
Yeah.
I'll just take the whole cup and throw it out on the lawn. Goodbye.
That cup's gonna. I'm not dealing with that cup ever again. I'm definitely not drinking out of this cup.
It's tainted. It has been booked. But yeah, like that to me was the scariest part of the book. Fair. The bugs. So I'm like, why would you bring that in the house? Cover that shit in hairspray to make sure it's, not going to shatter and just leave bugs all over. Ugh.
Did you watch the Stephen King Shining
TV miniseries with the guy from Wings? Yeah. Terrible. Why the fuck the ending? This is a Stephen King book. I do like Rebecca.
Yeah, she's good in it.
She has been good in everything. And Cortland Mead is okay. It was his heyday. I was a big fan of the cartoon Recess that he was also on as Gus. But
okay,
because and what was it? Thunder Alley, I think, was the sitcom he was on. And I liked him, I guess, as an actor because he and I are roughly the same age. But like, I just didn't. I found it very boring because it was on, I think, like ABC. So it was like I remember it came on around maybe April of 1997. And it was a like 2-part series. I remember watching it while my cousin was in Washington, D.C. for that cliched 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. thing that public schools did that I didn't do. But like, I remember watching it and being like, I'm bored. This is boring. I like the maze better than the animals coming to life. The hedge.
Oh, I like the animals coming to life.
I like the hedge animals. I felt like they made it too innocent because it was network television instead of privatized. Yes. And so I was bored. Because I was like, this is supposed to be a horror series. And by then I already had Kubrick memorized.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and so I knew it would be watered down because it was for like network and not cable, because I didn't have cable, which is the only way I was able to watch it, because Stacy was gone by then, the neighbor. So it just, I found it boring, and I didn't like that it had a happy ending, even though the book has a happy ending. And I was like, this is a horror movie though, but it's an Americanized horror movie, so it's got to have a happy ending because everything in America has closure, and I didn't like it.
Fair enough.
Not everything has to be closed.
No, it doesn't. You take some note from the Italian filmmakers. They don't owe you. They don't owe you anything.
No, you walk into an Italian's house and all the doors and cupboards and pantries are open. Every door, every drawer, open. Nothing's closed. No closure for anything.
Nothing.
Not even a zipper. Okay, we're getting carried away.
So, what was the first film you watched that you considered grown up?
Carrie.
You fucker. Every answer. I've seen one film.
This is good. Okay. I'm making myself laugh because this is going to sound ridiculous. But keep in mind, I've always been a rebellious motherfucker because I kicked myself out of Catholic school in the end of first grade. I also grew up with Monster Squad with Rudy being like the actual punk who was like, no, this shit is stupid, or I like this, I want to be a part of it, I don't care what anyone says. But also Crutchfield from Ernest Goes to Camp.
Okay.
I know Ernest Goes to Camp is not what you would call a grown-up film.
At all.
At all.
I'll take an interpretation on this question by all means, but that's not a grown-up film.
It's not a grown-up film, but the message that I got from it to me would equate, because it's basically about standing up for the little guys. And if being diplomatic doesn't work, if being potentially litigious doesn't work, if trying to hit them where you think it would hurt them doesn't work, in order to make this group not tear down this summer camp, it was on a native reservation, like if none of that works, then you have to go rogue and you have to fight for yourself in a way that you think that you would get scared off. And that's kind of what they did, was fighting back through, well, I mean, it's Jim Varney, so ridiculous means, but they had, the food launcher and the unstrapping of signs so that they fall over, just a blatant destruction of property in a way that made these construction workers stop everything they were doing and run for the hills and decide that it wasn't worth the trouble if this was going to happen every day. And so to me, that, like, yeah, the characters are silly, and Iron Eyes Cody wasn't really a native. I think he was like Italian. But like that mentality of just fighting back against rich white men, because that's what it was. It was a CEO group trying to build skyscrapers over this summer camp that's run on a reservation. So they fought back with, their ridiculousness. And that's how, like, it saved the day and saved the camp.
It's amazing that from day one, we've been told that rich white men are the worst.
Yeah.
Yet we seem always shocked when another one appears.
It's shocked, eye-rollingly. Yeah, so it's like, it's not Ernest Goes to Camp is not an adult film.
No, but I really appreciate that explanation, because I agree. I think that's true. I think anything that makes you question what you're watching, and it isn't just, like someone else answered with it being like, Grease was the first adult film they watched because it wasn't a genre film.
Yeah.
It wasn't spaceships. And it was like, that's a really interesting take on it. And I think I agree with what you're saying. It's like, it's a way of making you think. It's the first time you considered your actions and how they can have an effect on the wider projects and the wider world. So I really like that answer. Well done. Well done.
Get that Jim Varney.
Good. You know, when I was a kid, I thought Jim Varney and Ryan Stiles were the same person.
Oh, Ryan would love that. He's Canadian, though.
I hope he would. Yeah. Oh, okay. But like, I would watch Who's Line, and I'd be like, "Hey, it's Ernest," and my brother would be like, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "It's a tall, skinny white guy, Louis.
Who can make faces.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Who can make faces.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was all it was.
He has hair in a face.
So, what film holds a special place in your heart?
Carrie.
Just about to say, don't say Carrie.
I mean, all of them, because I wouldn't go back repeatedly if there wasn't something there worth going back for.
True.
So besides all of the ones listed, there's this cartoon movie about a dog named Scruffy. The movie is called Scruffy, that I used to watch only at my grandparents' house, and I think I'm the only person who's heard of it. So if somebody else knows it, or like Fern Gully, Chris and I bonded over Fern Gully. One of our first walking dates was talking about Fern Gully.
I mean, that's bonkers.
Yeah. So those.
Let me.
Are you looking up Scruffy?
I am, because I recognize the name. What? Not no. How old is this film?
1980. It's like a little Cocker Spaniel. Like maybe a little golden book, or a little book, like a book series about the dog.
Yes. So it was a TV series. Yeah.
So you do know him.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. Like, I just found a video of the TV series, and I was like, I've seen that video. Nice. So yes, I remember that.
Yeah. I used to watch it every time I went to my grandma's, and Fern Gully. First Wives Club.
Nice. R.I.P.
I know.
Thank you.
I can't. What an icon. I do have that ending song in my phone as well. I love a Bette Midler. All right.
What can I say?
I mean, she's not the divine Miss M for nothing.
Fair.
I'm like, what's an obscure?
You don't got to go obscure. It's just whatever's your.
Yeah, I'm like, a lot of them. I find myself watching a lot of X-Men movies on repeat, and the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
They're good. Because of you, I watched Titanic, I think, for the first time.
You're welcome.
I think because of you, I've watched a lot of Leo films for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's the entire compendium of Leonardo DiCaprio. I just rewatched Celebrity for the first time in a long time, and I'm like, Woody Allen. I know that we're ADHD, but I feel like Woody Allen is like, if there's an ADHD, like, come or something, because I'm like, this shit doesn't make sense. I like a nonlinear for the most, but I'm like, there's nonlinear, and then there's, why is this here in the middle?
Now this is just a series of incidents. I watched Meaning of Life, the Monty Python one, the other day, and Kirsty's like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "I assumed there was a story in this film," and she was like,
"Just
no,
songs.
This one is more just sketches and songs." And I was like, all right, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Which I do kind of like, but yeah, like every sperm is sacred in the songs and stuff. Like, I mean, classic bops, right? But
bangers all the way,
just nothing but bangers in the Meaning of Life.
Of course.
But yeah, like, that's to me not one. It's one you watch once and it sticks in, and you never need to watch it again, because you'll start finding flaws, and like, you'll realize what happened. There was, like, I thought there was a story. Is there a story? Who paid for this? Why is there no story?
Honestly, who paid for this? I was like, during the bit at the beginning, if we're still talking about Meaning of Life, with the ship and the accountants, I was like, this would have been a really good short on its own. And I'm really annoyed that they just tacked it onto the beginning of their film. And then I watched the rest of the film and I was like, oh, that's all they've done.
Yeah.
They've just gone for, here's some shorts that we like the idea of, and we've just made a film out of it. And I was like, who the fuck's paid for this?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the I Love You City series, because there's like I Love You Berlin, I Love You New York and stuff. It's just like vignettes of short stories all shoved together with people, only not.
I really liked
funny.
The Paris one. I really liked that. I Love You, like Paris Je t'aime, I really enjoyed. And then was the Berlin the second one?
I have no idea. I saw I Love You New York first, and I really liked it, and then discovered that it's a whole series. But then I was like, why not there? Why not, like, I Love You, Rio, or like I Love You Auckland? or,
Yeah.
you know, like we get 8 Mile.
The two choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
France gets Je t'aime Paris with a bunch of.
And you're like, better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it.
Also on my phone.
I thought, does that not just come in on every person's phone in Detroit?
Oh yeah, like when you're born, it's like when U2 tried to shove their music up everyone's asshole.
Yeah.
You're just in the Detroit area, you get a phone and it automatically comes with Lose Yourself and very
a bag of mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, you got like a Ziploc bag. They will.
Yeah.
It's cheap bitches. I went to go visit my friend Jason in New York, who's a food historian. Like he's on TV and everything. It's amazing. You should follow him. You should all follow him. Collecting Candy. Shout out to Jason. I wanted to bring like a mom's spaghetti takeaway box, and they wouldn't give me one. And they said, no, you have to pay for it upstairs. So I was like, okay, so clearly a lot of people have asked this. And I work for the company that is owned by the people who own Little Caesars. And I can be like, hey, can I have this pizza box? And they're like, yeah, we don't care. Here's 3. And then I go to Mom's Spaghetti to get like a 5-cent box. And they were like, no, we sell them upstairs in the gift shop.
Bitch, just give me my damn box.
Yeah, like, okay, so what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay $17 to get some vegan meatball spaghetti, which is like apparently mediocre. I don't know. I can't afford it with my bitch ass. And then I have to take the box home. It's like a Chinese style to-go container maybe. And wash it. I'm going to wash it out so it's not used spaghetti when I bring it over on a plane. I'm like, don't sniff at me, dogs. This is just old spaghetti.
And then they're going to get into like TSA, whatever, and they're like, what's this? And you're like, oh, that is a used, empty takeaway container that I washed out. And they'd be like, what for? And it'd be like, a bit.
No, it's happened because one time I did bring my friend Raki, who lives on your side. She's a Kit Kat collector, world record and everything. And so I brought her a bunch of stuff, and I brought like boxes. I don't have any because I just brought what was left to Jason. But here's my next. I've got an entire file of facts already for Raki for the next time I go over there. And I came in with like for her sister that I was meeting in New York, Emma, like just a bag of empty boxes. And they were like, what is this? And I said, it's essentially trash. And they went, oh, okay. They were like, why the fuck? And
welcome to New York.
I mean, yeah, like it's just real. Even going to Canada for Kit Kat reasons. They were like, why are you coming into Canada? And I was like, because I heard your Kit Kats are better. And they were like, that's true. You should also try this. You might want to go here. They might have select few others. And so like we're giving me tips on where to go at the border. And I'm like, people will do really if I'm ridiculous and okay with it, people will respond ridiculously in kind and then have a laugh. So
for the listener, I too have sent boxes of Kit Kats over to Kate.
True. And Jason does have some of those now, like the like the Nescafe.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, because Raki lives in the UK, so she doesn't need it. So.
Oh yeah. Obviously.
And also, some of that Nescafe made its way because I have my friend John, Professor Foods, who is currently working as a chef in Antarctica. He brought that for his Antarctica trip because I sent it to him before that. Yeah. So we're making rounds all over the world, literally. Like all over the world, Antarctica.
And to think that was just from like a supermarket in Shrewsbury. I was walking around and I said to Kirsty, like, I got to get some Kit Kats for Katie. And she was like, oh yeah? And I was like, yeah. And then like a few days before I'd seen they'd put a whole display out. So I was like, one of each. Fuck them all. One of each. And then like, there's like 2 or 3 sections where there's Kit Kats in our one. So I was like, well, I'll go to the breakfast food aisle because they have Kit Kats in there. And then I got to go to the snack aisle because they got more Kit Kats in there. And then I almost picked up, wait, did I send the Kit Kat sachet hot chocolate?
No.
So I found a Kit Kat sachet hot chocolate.
Spoiler alert.
And I was like, oh, but I've already boxed it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you almost got lots. Yeah, I'll wait to the next round of special editions.
Yeah, no, it was like I got that box, and I just telling you, like the day after my best friend Margot's dad's funeral, where for me, like funerals are sad, but they're not like they're inherently sad, but they're not sad. you know, because
Yes,
sometimes it's like the only time you see people, you're all joking. We had pizza and beer because it was a Friday, and that's pizza and beer night for John. And not to say we had a great time, but it was like, you know, times were had. But then I killed the bug in my eye. I blinked to keep a bug from getting in my eye and blinked the bug to death in my eye as I was driving in the dark. And that like kind of re-horrified the day of like, you know, because you wake up and you're like, all right, this might be tough, but we'll get it together.
Sure.
And then that's what I came home to was that box from you. And it was like, oh, it's a hug. It's a hug.
I loved it. I loved having a fucking mission to get them together.
And I appreciate it so much. It was so much fun. And then also, like, I also have other friends who are like, this is the dumbest shit. Like, can you explain it to me again? And I'm like, yeah, different countries make different Kit Kats and I have to try them all. What's hard to get there?
I saw some Kit Kats and I was like, you want me to send you some Kit Kats?
Because it's so ridiculous.
I know what this woman wants. She wants Kit Kats. What's your controversial opinion on a famous film?
I thought Weapons was stupid. Because again, I like a non-linear. I just thought, to me, it felt like it was maybe one draft away from being a finished product for a script.
Yeah.
Because the last, I don't know, are we spoiling? Are we minimally spoiling?
Fuck them. It's not a new film.
It's been out for months. If you haven't seen it, you know, go fuck yourself, I suppose. But politely 100%. Go.
No.
I felt like the part of, I mean, and this, I do think it was Julia's some of her best work. Like the acting was great. And I do like Julia Garner, but I was like, okay, the bits about her being maybe an alcoholic went on a little too long. The things with Nick and the cheating and all that, like we didn't need any of that. We did not have a reason for these characters to come back together. They could have just been ships in the night doing it and then feeling weird about it. And it could have just been that. Like that could have been the whole story. 100%. I think too much time was spent on things that didn't matter like that. And then the ending, when we finally get to Alex, the little boy, I was like, okay, now's when it's going to start to be a horror film, right? Like now's when there's like the due cause, the reason behind everything. This is what's going to tie everything. We have been sitting here for years waiting for this.
Honestly, at this point, it felt like fucking years.
And finally we're getting to the bottom of it and it's nothing. And then Gladys is let out into the wild and it's nothing. The kids are released and it's nothing. Like literally nothing happens. And I was like, okay, so we'll get to Alex. Obviously he's the last stage of it because we're running out of goddamn time. And so you think, I was like, okay, so either Alex is the sinister one, either he's the one causing it, his parents, like we know Gladys is there and that Gladys is the reason, but did Alex bring her? Why is she there? And then you get to his part, and then you're like, it's going to explain while she's there. It's going to get into detail of why these people are chosen. If it's, she's like our great aunt that like we've never heard of, but she's sick and she needs help, and you do for family. But it's like, no, you don't. You don't fucking do that for family. Who's this psychotic bitch? Look at her with her lipstick on her teeth. Like you don't welcome that into your home if you have a child. Because you don't know her. She's a stranger. Your husband didn't even know she existed. And you're going to welcome her into her home? No. That's weird, but it never states why Gladys is there. Like we know externally that she's there because she's a witch and she wants to like harvest the children, which again, hocus pocus, great. I've seen it, been there, done it, experienced it, sang the song. Mm-hmm. But there's no explanation as to why she exists at all. Why did she choose them? Why is she extorting Alex to do her bidding when she could do it herself because she's proven that she can do it herself? Why did it take an entire classroom of kids? She's not getting any younger. It's not working. Like the whole film is marketed to be what happened to the kids. Okay, are the kids haunted? Are the kids taken? Are the kids possessed? Are they dead? What's happening? Is this a Blair Witch thing where the kids are going to go out and do some bidding? Literally none of that. I was like, this movie is not even 5 minutes about these kids.
And I hate that at the very beginning they say like, "Oh, these kids are never seen again."
They're right there.
Well, they are seen by fucking loads.
They're never seen again for 2 weeks.
And sure, I'll give you oh, the kids were never themselves, so they were never seen again. Right, but you also said at the end that some of them started speaking again.
Yeah, like
so
in the end, it was something like what like 50 or 70% of the kids wound up being fine. And it's like, okay, yeah, but that's also just kids,
right? And apparently, I read that the ending little voiceover that they did,
which you could
was
not
after
hear.
a test audience were like, which you could not hear.
You could not hear.
Like that was because a test audience was like, "What's happened?
Yeah,
why has this happened? Like, what's going on?" And they were like, "Oh, here's an ending," and it's like,
that's not it. It was so rushed and so like, because it was what A24, and it's like that's just their style. They put,
and like the trailer looked so
good, and like the pictures of like Alex when he's looking all ghastly and stuff, and he's like the only kid. He looks like the kid from The Grudge, like the little boy from The Grudge. Like it's giving a little bit of The Grudge. Mm-hmm. None of that happened.
And I remember that trailer being so spooky. I was like, what the fuck's going to
happen? I was so excited. Like just looking at that picture, I was like, to my little brother Anthony, I was like, I'm in, let's go. And then we both went, we would have been happier with our $15.
Kirsty and I watched it and we were both just like, the fuck's happening? Like, what's going on? And by the time you get to like the drug dealers sort of little story,
yeah, like the comedic bit,
I checked out. I was like, I don't give a fuck what happens now. Like
if they would have put that more in the front, I would have cared more, I think, because what's his name? Jimmy? That was like the only part that I really liked and wanted to know more about, and it was the shortest.
And I will say, the whole witchcraft ritual was based on their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And they used her wig at the end.
Yeah.
So how does that
doesn't work? It was like, I thought that too. I was like, that's not her hair though. How are we doing this binding spell? And how does this kid just ultimately like, yeah, I get that he lived it, but he's like, what, 9?
Yeah, was he? Yeah, he's not trained.
Yeah, like he knows.
I've watched surgery on the telly. I couldn't do surgery.
Right. And he's over here like ruining lives by just mimicking what he saw. But it's like, no, man, you can't it's not just putting hair around a stick and then breaking it. Like there's more to witchcraft than sticks.
I'm really pleased you said this because I felt really bad because a friend of mine today, and if you're listening, Mike was telling me he was watching it and he was like, oh, I'm liking it. I like it a lot. And I was like, really? Why? And he was explaining it all being very positive. And I was like, I did not like it.
I didn't get any of that.
I thought it was bollocks. Yeah. And he was like, oh, well, as a man of film, I respect your opinion. And I was like, I wouldn't. I would. Do what you like.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't. Sometimes, there's films like that you see that are like, people are like, oh my God, I loved it. It's the best film I've ever seen. It's like, okay, are you one of the people that said the Da Vinci Code is the best book you've ever read? And then come to find out that's like the only book you've read in your adult life? Because it's like
that's my thing when people say that Shawshank Redemption is their favorite film. I'm like, okay,
I do like Shawshank.
It's a very good film. Watch more films, because there are better films than Shawshank Redemption.
Have you seen 2001? Have you seen Freaks? Or I mean, I like Freaks, but then I am who I am. But it's just
I love a lovely call out to Todd Browning there.
But it's just it seems like, do you go to movies? Like it's kind of, and maybe it'll sound elitist or something, but it's like, okay, but there's the people who like make films and study films, and as Seth Rogen said, like you love it so much that you've dedicated your entire life to it, whether it's reading, writing, viewing, breaking things down, learning all you can. Like, are you one of those people? Are you like a cinephile where you study films and and it doesn't have to be like, oh, well, this is the lens used for that. It's just like the breakdowns. Mm-hmm. Like, do you understand why this is the scene or this, or like, do you just watch a movie as a whole and it's either you like it or you don't?
Yeah. And it's cinematic language and all those kind of things where you're just like, I love this for every reason and I hate it for this reason and all that. I'm kind of jealous of people who can just sit and watch a film and go, oh, I like that.
And that's the end of the...
Oh, that's nice. So... Like, I wish I could do that.
I wish I were a simpleton.
I wish I was thick as pig shit, just like you. But unfortunately, I'm educated.
Yeah, it's like during my film degree, yeah, like I had this incredible teacher, Nick Schlegel, Dr. Nick. He is with PhD, so it's accurate. He wouldn't just it was like we would watch the film, we would have like discussions before and after that day, and then the next class day, so like Tuesday to Thursday, then we would break down the film. And we would have things where like the opening scene of The Untouchables, we had to break down shot for shot, which I loved. Like The Usual Suspects, we had to take the opening of that script before the title card and explain how we knew as filmmakers who to pinpoint as the lead protagonist, and stuff like that, just off of basically nothing. And that is what he taught us to do, because he also taught writing. And he's like, if you're going to write films, you have to know how to watch films from this perspective. And I'll be goddamned if that didn't ruin me for watching a lot of films. It annoys the shit out of Chris because I'll talk about it during.
It annoys me when I know people who are just like, I'm thinking about, I might write a movie. And I'm like, yeah, go on then. Or they're like, I'm going to write a novel. And it's like, yeah, go on then. What books have you read recently? They're like, no, I'm not really one for reading.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then why the fuck are you writing a book?
Yeah. Oh, I've never read a book in my life. I can't even read.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm gonna write a film script. Oh yeah, what kind of breakdown are you gonna go for? Like, what kind of character arc? They're like, what do you mean? I'm just gonna write a story. And I'm like, cool.
All right. I'm busy.
I look forward to reading.
I'm busy that day.
Yeah, like I'm looking forward to reading that dog shit pile, because if you don't understand sort of structure and story and all those things, there's a chance that you are a natural, But I don't think you'd be starting now if you were a natural. You'd have done this a lot earlier. I just find it very presumptuous.
You would have gotten notes home from teachers in middle school saying, does not pay attention in class, will not stop writing other things, stop turning in all these projects into the things that you think they should be instead of what was assigned, because that was my life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the same.
Yeah, like, what do you mean you don't want to do this creative writing assignment because you've already done this one? I mean,
I was told I was being lazy because I had combined answers once, and I was like, yeah, but the flow of this answer,
it segues into this and then circles back into a full conversational route.
So when I've done that answer, and in the next question I just wrote see the above answer, and you've told me I'm being lazy, it's like, no.
But did you not go see the above answer? Who's being lazy not teach?
Yeah. Did you not read it, dickhead?
Yeah.
It clearly answers.
It clearly answers.
School was not a fun place for me. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, no, I was a full like honor roll student. Total nerd. Total like dean's list.
I was not.
Like I graduated college with a 3.98 because I had one teacher.
Oh!
And mind you, I had to rebuild because I went through a depression state, which I may have told you about when I was writing my play about that timeline of my life where I got kicked out of school, but also for financial aid reasons. And I had to take a 1.2 GPA and then graduated with a 3.98. I had to rebuild that motherfucker like I was going out of style. So that's how nerdy I am. I love school.
So we had the GCSEs. That's what you do when you're like 15, 16. Mm-hmm. I think I have 2. You're meant to have 10. And like really fancy people have like 12. Kirsty got such good GCSEs. She was in the newspaper.
Nice, that kind of gal.
I have 2, and then I blagged my way in to college, which is so we go school, college, university. Yeah. So we went into. I blagged my way into college by putting myself on a lower course and then presenting a lot fancier at the interview, and they were like, I think you're a bit too smart for this lower course. We're going to put you in the next one. And I was like, by all means. Yeah. Like, I haven't got the grades
what
for it.
What a surprise.
And then I think I either cried to get a higher grade. I can't remember. Either way, like, I just about scraped through to complete college. Mm-hmm. And then I worked as a photographer for a few years. And then when I applied for university, like a lot later down the line, I was like, I got like, no, I don't have GCSEs or A levels, but I worked as a photographer, and I film is all I know. And then I went for my interview of that, and they were like, "Oh yeah." And then I got like a 2-1, which is you get a first, a 2-1, a 2-2, and a third. I got a 2-1, so that's pretty good. And there was moments during that course where I just thought, like, if the teachers could see me getting a degree, they would be fucking blown away, because they'd be like, that idiot did not. He's dyslexic. He can't do maths. And he doesn't care. He only cares about film. And it's like, yeah.
Here we are.
That's all I care about.
What's the problem?
That and art. I don't give a shit. Like, you can talk to me about maths all day. I'm ignore you. I don't care.
I like math.
I cannot do it. It's whatever the dyslexic is with maths. I'm worse with maths than I am words. Like, I haven't.
You transpose.
Taught myself to not. Yeah, like I've not taught myself to not be dyslexic, but I read a lot. So for me, it's a struggle and it's a real strain. But like, I also enjoy elements of it, and I work really hard to read, if that makes sense. With numbers, you put numbers in front of me, I am looking at Russian. I just don't understand. I'm like, cool, right, whatever. And I can do like basic arithmetic. Yeah. I can do that. But as soon as someone's like, oh, the bill is $250 or $254.77. There's 6 of us at the table. Is there any tip? I don't know. How much do we want to do all by halves? I'm always just like, I had this, and this. So I can add that because there's 3 and I've got my calculator, and then that's it. Like, if someone's looking at a bill and being like, oh, well, it's this much divided by this much, I'm like, nah.
That's me. I like algebra, because I'm like, people are like, well, when am I going to use algebra? I'm like, literally all the fucking time. That's like saying, when am I going to use physics?
You wouldn't catch me walking down the street using physics.
Like, it's like, when am I ever going to use, like, you know, the knowledge of gravity? School is so dumb.
It's for nerds. Yeah. What can I say? So what have you been watching recently?
I did just see Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah. I saw your Instagram. What do you think?
I thought it was really great. Part of me is like, I feel like Oscar Isaac could have done more, but then I'm like, no. I think it was just because like he is a great actor, but some of the things you can't mess with too much. And I think it was a fine line of staying true to what we know these characters as. But also, I thought, okay, I forgot it was Jacob Elordi. Like, I kept thinking, I know who this is. I know it's in here. But watching him was so good that it was just nothing but creature, which is, you know, a coup to him. Yeah. And in order, I think, like, in order for the creature to have been made even more humanized and kind, they couldn't amp up Victor to be more meddlesome and evil and, you know, like he's supposed to be. Like, he already, you know, Taylor Swift complexes it where he just plays the victim the whole time or makes it up if something doesn't go so that he looks innocent, you know, like he's already doing a lot of that manipulation, which is in itself like some sort of like evil abusive thing that he's pulling over all these people. So I don't think that we needed to make a spectacle of his evilness because he was doing it himself a little bit more subtly, but more damaging in that way. And in order to keep the creature up here and likable, we had to keep Victor a little bit more tame because if you wanted to amp one up, you had to amp the other. Otherwise it wouldn't work. So I thought that was great. And
are you going to see The Bride?
Yes. We already have plans to see it. I am really, not just because it's a Gyllenhaal collaboration, but like in general, but I'm really actually excited to see that. I like that it's being more, from what I can tell, accurately billed as like a punk rock aesthetic for a theme we already know, because it is turning it a little bit and making it a little bit more political in the way of like women's rights.
I'm more excited about The Bride than I am Frankenstein.
Yeah, I was too. And I do think that Frankenstein and Guillermo del Toro, seeing as how that's a bigger name and a bigger function in it, that's why The Bride got pushed back, because they were both supposed to be released around the same time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And honestly, like for the Halloween season, I think I would have liked to see The Bride first and then Frankenstein, because this Frankenstein was a little bit more of a classic take. And it's like, great. Yeah, I love the Frankenstein story, including Monster Squad, but visually for the spooky season, I think I would have preferred that, because this one wasn't spooky. It was just the same style of classic tale. It was gory, which was fantastic, because it didn't look like it was cheap work at all. But
no, but Del Toro doesn't use cheap work, does he? He uses can I remember? But he uses, like, I think he uses Weta. I want to say.
Yeah. I say I know. I don't know what he uses.
Yeah, exactly. But like the guys he use are always fucking spot on. Okay. And how many times have you seen One Battle After Another now?
I've seen it twice. I saw it in New York, sneak preview in 70 millimeter IMAX, which was one of the ways we were told to see it, because the Vista was sold out. I couldn't go. It had one screening in one place, and that was it. And it was like the first to go. So yeah, I did see it sneak preview at the Angelica, which was really fun. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous cinema. And then I saw it just at the regular IMAX with Masha and Ryan. And then I'm waiting to see it. I'm pointing like you can see he's not back there. Chris and I are going to eventually go see it as well. Because I was like, no, you have to see this. And then I described it to him and he was like, this doesn't sound like something I want to see. And I was like, shut up. Yes, it does.
Yeah, I tried to explain it to my parents on like the other day. And like, I think my dad was just like, yeah, and I was like, it's good, all right.
It just like I can't verbalize everything, so I don't want to. I mean, you can't.
I don't want to give any of it away.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of spoilers you can do, because you already.
No, yeah.
The press that they were doing that Leo and Chase were saying is like, essentially it's a movie about a father and a daughter reuniting and fighting their way back to each other, where she literally is going through one battle after another, and he's just trying to get it together.
Just get it together enough to get there.
And like, because it's her film. She's the hero. Everyone knows that. Like, he's the bigger name, but it's her film.
He is doing, and I messaged you, didn't I? Like, he's done nothing to progress this film. And I love it.
Yeah, because it's not his film. Yeah. He's not the main character. He's secondary. He's the main lead actor, but he's not the main character. She is, which is why I hope they put Chase Infinity as up for consideration for award season as lead actor instead of secondary. Like,
yeah,
I hope they don't try to Lily Gladstone her, because Lily was like, no, I'm the main female lead in this whole thing. Like, this whole movie revolves around my character.
I really don't know who would you put, like, if you're going to say that she is the supporting actor in that role, who is the lead actor, like female actor in that film?
Well, it's not Tiana Taylor, because she's in that movie for a grand total of 15 minutes. Maybe Regina King, but Regina's in it. Even though she does add a lot of heart to it, and I feel like Regina does nothing poorly. She makes nothing.
I was so pleased. I didn't know she was in it, and like she came on the screen, and I grabbed my mate's arm. I was like, "Oh, sick!"
Yeah, like she does not make bad choices, and but even then, she's in the beginning, and then she picks back up, and then she picks back up over here. So she's still not the lead. She's the secondary.
Yeah.
So if Chase isn't nominated for lead actress in a film and they bump her down, it's like now you're pushing Regina away, because there's no way that they could compete against each other in the same category, because their roles are radically different. Their portrayals and what they do and what they give are radically different. This is Chase's film.
Yeah. And I thought Sean Penn did a wonderful RFK Jr.
Like, when he's licking the comb and stuff, you're like, God, he's just so weird. That had to have been his choice. That had to have been something he just did, and they kept.
No, he saw it. He saw one of George Bush Jr.'s team do that at a press conference.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he saw it and made it into the, like, that wasn't written in.
No. That was definitely a pickup from.
And I do like the way that they described with Paul Thomas Anderson, is that he lets them tangent. He lets them go off. He trusts his actors, because that's what I do as a director in theater. It's like, I'll take feedback. Like if you think of something and it works better and it makes everything a little bit more well-rounded, then yeah, I'm gonna go with what's good, not just because I thought of it, but because it's what'll make it better.
Your actors are the professional performer in the room. You're the professional writer and director in the room. If you do not consider their opinion, then you are saying you're better than them, and that's not true.
And it's collaborative. It's like,
it's collaborative.
Granted, not for anything. There's certain darlings that I am protective of. But it's like,
no, sure, but I mean, when I was doing Real Terror prep, like instead of rehearsing the scenes, I sat down with my actors and I just spoke to them, and I was like, right, what was the first film you guys saw at the cinema?
Yeah.
And they answered in character, and it was like, great. And then, why is it you're doing this? Like asking them questions, really getting them to dig into that character.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, I need you to know your character inside and out. So if you do anything on the day that deviates from the script, you're doing it as the character, not because you think it's cool, not because you think it's going to work. You're thinking, no, the character would want to play it like this. And you're like, go on then. Because that's the character.
Yeah.
That's the character we are. I don't want to fight against you, like, because you think we should be doing something else, but my words, in quotation marks, are the driving force. It's like, no. The script is the path we want to take, So let's see where we go. So thank you very much for being on my show. It was wonderful speaking to you. I hope you had a nice time.
We'll be all right.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
I don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, fuck your feelings.
A marriage of convenience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're making it thoroughly inconvenient right now. No.
I was like, write more questions and I'll happily keep talking about Carrie and do this again for another 4 hours later.
No. Carrie.
Every book.
I'll put the Carrie as the poster. I won't put the poster as Carrie. But yes, thank you for being on. And hopefully we'll speak soon. And hopefully you'll be over here soon as well.
You get me there. And I'll do it. I'll bring my kit. I will use my makeup kit for free on one of your films. And I'm talking like the big guns, like my favorite of supplies.
All it's going to cost is a flight to the UK and a hotel.
Yeah, I'll sleep in your garage. No, I won't. I'm an old lady. I can't hostel it. I'm too old.
I wouldn't even sleep on a couch at this point.
I'll couch over floor. And I'll couch if it's free, sure. But
I'll couch if it's my couch and I've fallen asleep.
Oh yeah, no, my couch is perfectly shaped to my frame, like Sheldon Cooper. Yeah.
Oh, like I think Kirsty, we've got like an L-shaped couch, and if it was up to Kirsty, she would sleep in the corner of that every night.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see Mayday down there. That's the leg of a giant koala bear that's about 4 feet tall. I use that as a pillow in the corner of the couch. It's Mayday.
That's what Kirsty's got. And she'll just play her Xbox or PlayStation game and then fall asleep. And then I have to take the controller out of her hand where there's a slight moment where she grabs it again.
Oh my God.
Because she thinks she's dropping it. And then I have to take her glasses off and put them on the coffee table. And then I just turn off the lights and I leave her there. Well, on that, I'm going to leave you. It's been lovely speaking to you. And I'll speak to you
let's
soon.
Do this again.
Totally.
All right. Bye, friend.
Carrie. This has been a Lovable Rogue Productions podcast. Thank you to everyone that listened. If you want to help out your life in film, then download it, like it, share it, and give the pod a follow. I didn't realise till starting this that a download is the way they measure success and not just a listen. So, listening means nothing. Make sure you check out my guests on their socials, which will be in the description of the episode. Take a look at my letterboxd. I've made a list of all the films that have been mentioned on the pod. There's fucking hundreds. So you can find some good films there. There is some good ones. There's some fucking weird ones, and I love them. Quick shout out to some of the podcasts I'm listening to. Caliber 9 from Outer Space. That's Robin Joe's. That's really good. And then The Villain Was Right. That's a great fun. Check that out. If you really want to be a mensch, give me that money. There's a link in the description. It'll explain it all. But a download and a share is excellent, and I actually appreciate that a lot more than you'd think. We currently have no sponsors, but I am open to them. I'll shill anything. I don't care. This has been a Lovable Rogue production. Thank you for listening.